Hello everybody. Been a hectic day today. I just felt like I need to give you more information on your favorite game, the game that is designed to actually help you. Today I'm just going to deal with the first law. This is the first a chapter you get in the Jaiva laws of the game, and I actually named it Jaiva ground. So like any other sporting code, Jaiva has what we call a ground. All right, so the ground is the key of the industry. This is one thing that actually differentiates Jaiva game from any other game, meaning your soccer and your rugby, right? So today I'm just going to show you the first law. I'm going to take you through the 21 laws, but today I'm focusing on one law. All right. The law, of course, has what we call a description. It has what we call sanctions. It has what you call infringements. Okay. Basically, with infringements, what we mean is that if an athlete or a team as a collective during performance they are dancing, they commit this kind of foul, can be a foul, can be a misconduct. Therefore, these are the sanctions. All right. Infringement is actually, we're saying these are the mistakes. If they do these mistakes, then this is what the observer who actually manages the whole game needs to do. All right, so we need to also cover the most important factor of the game, which is the ground. The ground is everything. I have a beautiful picture here. I wanted to share my screen, but I felt I just wanted to show you this. All right. Yes. I wanted only the ground where there is no other areas, but I'm going to show it right now to show you other areas. The first ground is actually showing you the markings of the ground, because that's one of the topic or one of the section that you find in the Jaiva, a law one of which deals with a Jaiva ground. All right. So another one is this one. Never mind the branding. You can see we've got a red lines and blue lines and white lines. All right. So obviously during performance, when a team steps on a red line, they actually get to, we call that a foul. We get to deduct those points from the points allocated during performance. All right. And when a team step on the blue line, also the same thing happens. But this is what is important. You must see the setup, how everyone is seated. Look at where the judges are in the much bigger square. You can even see on the bottom we have them on both sides. Also the observer there in the corner, some who helps with substitutions, and you can see where there is a wide circle and there is an observer both on the sides. There is an observer standing there. That's where actually the observer stand during performance when the teams are actually performing inside the ground. All right, you can see there they are outside the ground, just behind the observer. Here we have a technical teams seated. You can see from here, these are technical teams. You can see from technical teams, this is the DJ for this team, and this one is a DJ for this team. So it's basically how we structured it to make sure that everyone who participates during a match, they get to be within one area. We don't need a stage where everyone will be scattered around. So all the participants, they will be in one area. The substitutions and the process of the game can be managed. So it helps also the observer inside who's running the match to actually manage it successfully, because everyone is near. If there is substitution, the technical team of the team A is there and the technical team of team B is there. So basically this is the structure that this game is trying to achieve, to make sure that there is an anatomy to every game. So for it to work for the anatomy to actually function when we needed a structure like this one, a ground where DJs can be designated, their place where they can DJ, and the judges and the observers and the assistants observers, and also an angle area or right angle area where just outside the ground where the observer can walk and have their spot where they can actually start everything, just to make sure that they're not standing in front of everyone before the game starts. So that's basically what this law deals about. We're dealing with the markings. We care about the numbers. That is why if you check on the first ground, I showed you that the numbers, I can repeat to show you, start with 0 to 9. There is a reason for why there is 0 to 9. If you check properly, I'm trying to bring it close to your screen. It's 0, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 9. 9 is next to the red line and blue line. Why? Because we know that number 9 is a bigger amount of points, so everyone will be participating next to the red line and blue line, and we get them to commit the fouls. We know that everyone is going to gun or target the bigger points, the 8 points and 9 points. That is why we make sure we put them further away or close to the a red line and blue line, so that they can actually get to commit fouls, and so that we can balance the game. The game is all about balancing, because we have 3 outcome results of the game, which is the draw, the win and the lose. So for us to have that, even how we design the ground is very important. So everything that will be on the judges sheet will be based on what we call the ground. There is nothing that will be on the judges sheet that will be different from the ground design. So you can see that the numbers are not just decorations. They actually play an important role in deciding the end results of the game. So it was very important, this law, which is a Jaiva law 1, which is Jaiva ground. It is very, very important that we actually get to nail it. Everyone need to understand why the ground has to be the way it is. So it's very important. The numbers, the markings, the colors mean a lot. Red line, a person get to lose around 3 points. Blue lines is 2 points. I'm sorry, red line is 1, a blue line is 2, and white line is 3 points. So also the lines, the touch line colors actually mean something. They are not just decorations for fun. So the game, especially the ground, that is why we have a law that actually is dedicated to just the ground, because it's one of the most important tools. All right, so I hope that with time you will get to understand. As long as you understand that the ground and even the areas just surrounding the ground are very important, because they are meant to serve a certain purpose. Judges must be next to the ground, observers must be next to the ground, and also technical teams from both areas and substitute must be next to the ground, so that they help the observer to run the game successfully. It will be a set that we have to wait 5 minutes, because observer is waiting for someone sitting there with the audience. We want everyone who's participating, who actually contribute to the content, to be closer to the observer, so observer can run the game successfully. So that is basically the Jaiva law of the game, which is number 1. Jaiva law number 1, which is Jaiva ground. It is very important, because without the ground we've got no game. The reason why many dance or the so-called dance sporting codes fail to achieve what is needed is because they fail to understand that a ground is a product. It is not just a parameter or a structure or a shape, but it actually gives life to the whole game. A person knows why they say this thing is a goal or an offside is because it is played in a particular environment designed for that game to be successful, to reach a certain outcome. We might not be in a control of how many points the other team gets, but at least we can know that at the end of the game, when it is danced or played inside Jaiva game, when both two teams get to perform and the DJs are playing their thing, the marimbas and your drummers play their thing, they do their substitution, after round 3, we know that a certain outcome will come out. That's the aim of a sporting code, all right? We know we'll have a lose, we'll have a draw, or a win. Who wins, who lose, whether how they draw, it is not in our hands, and it's not in my hand as an inventor. My job is to make sure that we have to have 3 outcomes at the end of the game. So that's how I actually designed the sporting code. I hope that this information is very important, that you understand that it's not just the ground, it's a product. Out of the ground comes content, and commentator can sit down and actually explain to you why the other team lost points, because they will be able to show you a red line, a number 9, number 8, that when they are in that spot, there is a high chances of them committing fouls, and these are the number of fouls they've committed. So a ground is it's the key, the core of a sporting code. All right. That is why even in a sporting codes where they are running, there is a starting point and a finishing point. So that is why we take those kind of things in account when we're designing this game. I hope that this information it becomes very enriching for you. You are looking forward to excel in this Jaiva industry. You are looking forward to make money in this Jaiva industry. I wish you very luck in everything we do. Watch the next video, which will be about another second law. I will actually get to tell you just hours before I'm about to go live. Thank you very much for being here.